Good morning. As you can see, the date on the video, it is January 25th, 2026. It is approximately 8:30 Central Time. And here I decided to investigate what is going on with the United States. And okay, so this is the chart, the Sibley chart with the ascendant at 12 degrees of Sagittarius. And I use whole sign houses as the tradition requires. And as you see, we have also the ruler of the ascendant in the eighth house of secrets, of investments, and the resources shared with allies, with partners, etc. So already we can see that this country is basically the identity of the country is basically secret dealings and especially surviving on shared resources. Now, we have this Jupiter. It is not only in a secret house, but is also under the sun rays. So it is a combust Jupiter, even though it is exalted. However, it is not very strong, even though it is the most beneficial because it is a day chart, but under the sun rays, it is invisible. So everything that is related to this country is impossible to see. And one day, like today, we all of a sudden discover things, right? For many people, discover things. So it's not that everybody was ignorant. Some people knew, of course, of what are the secrets that this country holds. However, other people, most of the mass of the people didn't really know what this country was all about, except, of course, those who know astrology can specifically read the chart and understand that this is not a country that is transparent. And other things are that the sun in Cancer, of course, is the middle of the summer, 4th of July. It is square Saturn. So from the get-go, the authority of the country represented by this sun, it is not only very invested in shared resources with others, partners, associates, other countries that are in alliance with the country, well, but is restrained, or it should be restrained by the law. And Saturn, not only is Saturn exalted in Libra, but this is the house of Congress, the legislature, the law, and the justice as well, because Libra represents justice. So the sun, or the authority of the country, it is always subject to the law, like everybody else, right? So at one point or another, any authority will be faced with the law, no matter what the actions or decisions they make. So this is what comes out very bluntly at us. The midheaven is in Libra as well, so it's a country that is showing in the world as a country of balance and justice and democracy and all the good things that Libra can offer. However, we have a Venus that is also combust. So this Venus is not the most beneficial because it's a day chart and it is, as I said, invisible. It's also a morning star, so it is a go-getter. However, in these actions, desires of the country that are very blunt and I would say direct, etc. They won't go too well because Venus is not functioning by two factors. One is that it is combust, the other one is that it is a day chart. So as you can see, there are uh, things that don't add up completely as the image of the country has been projected, because it's Sagittarius, it's the conqueror, it is the warrior, it goes after what it wants, and of course, is explorer and expands everything. Sagittarius is a sign that expands and explores and goes and never ends its exploration. And the other things that are not visible in the chart are the stars, right? The 12 degree, it is under, let's see, let me get the correct name of the star. I don't work often with the stars, so let me pause and look for the name. The star that is rising on the ascendant, it is at 9 degrees Sagittarius and is called Antares. And in the descendant, right opposite in Gemini, there is another royal star as well called Aldebaran. And those royal stars are beneficial, of course, are warrior stars, and they are beneficial. Their meaning is is very strong for a country in this case, but they are subject to certain rules. So it's not that you do whatever you want and there's no consequences. So at some point, they harvest the consequences, whatever they are, right? If the consequences are good, they harvest the good. If the consequences are bad, they harvest the bad. So Antares is at the heart of the scorpion. And again, this is another archetype of secrecy. Secrecy and biting their victims. So there is a lot to discover in a chart when you really study profoundly and without a slant. I do go to the astrology and just investigate what I archetypally find. So for Aldebaran is called the Royal Star of Persia, and it's, of course, associated with honor, eloquence, intelligence, and high success, but requires integrity to avoid the fall. And this is, of course, what is at stage at this moment, is at stake at this moment. And this Aldebaran is located in this the seventh house of associates, allies, and alliances and partners and everyone with whom the country has agreements. So even in that case, it requires integrity for those partners. And as I said, it's evident that things are stumbling at the moment regarding those issues. So, and it's also called, Aldebaran is also called the Watcher of the East. So, and you evidently can see how this archetype represents how the United States is also watching east and going east to conquer, right? Both stars are very warrior-like. However, as I said, it's not that they can use their Martian energy just for whatever. And of course, the country was built on a war. It started with a war. It continued. After that, every time Uranus comes to Gemini, it is involved in a war. And except for one war, that the Second World War, that they, together with the Allies, they won. All the other wars were lost, or there was mishappenings every time. So there are many chances that any new war that they start, especially as I said, these stars, royal stars, require integrity, require a level of honesty and transparency and moral values. And when those are not kept, then there are serious consequences, and the fall is inevitable. So, other than that, I also wanted to know that even though the midheaven is in Libra, the 10th house represents the maximum authority. And I have analyzed this in many, many videos before. It is in Virgo. Virgo is the sign of unbalance, and that's why it follows, Libra follows trying to put balance, right? Leo is the unipersonal sign that looks for authority, center stage authority, and performance. And then Virgo finds the faults. Virgo is a sign that presents us with the problems to solve. Uh, and not only that, but it has Neptune in Virgo. So we can see that many presidents acted in a secret way, in ways that they hide things that they and the midheaven, no, the 10th house also represents the image that they that the country shows to the world. And it has been historically often deceiving because usually the government goes and preaches. Sagittarius is a very preachy sign, and it preaches one thing, and then on the secret part and undercover part, it does different things, right? And different things that are problematic, Virgo, that are out of balance, etc. So, as I said, there is a point where the consequences should come inevitably. Anyways, for the moon, which is a very important factor in any chart, not less in a country's chart, the moon is uh, at the bottom. Of course, it's a day chart. And is in trine with Mars. So meaning that the people is impulsive and they are always in action, right? Very active moon. Emotionally as well, it's a very active moon. Now, I will show you the transits, but before I do show you the bi-wheel, where you can compare the natal with the transits of today, I also want to say that I have a series of videos on the Pluto return that I did since 2018 and 2019 when Pluto was approaching the 27th degree, and after that as well, with many details where I mainly explored the theme of resources of the financial problems of the country and how they were transforming completely. As you can see now, the external debt is $38 trillion. I mean, it's impossible to imagine that number, but that's what it is. And of course, at this point, Pluto is approaching the south node, which is now at 3 degrees. It's this year it will touch very closely to the south node of the moon, which is a portal of drain. So there will be a drain of power, and and in the third house, it's the power of the states, because they're all the brothers and sisters of a country are the states, right? As well as the neighboring countries. And we can see how the neighboring countries are put in position of less power and disempowerment. But of course, doesn't mean that those neighboring countries cannot find other ways to sustain themselves. Then we are seeing, for example, with Canada, how they are trying to sustain themselves. So the problem here, I think, it will be sorry. I think the problem will be the states, right? That the crisis may really disaggregate the country, disintegrate the union because of Pluto going to the south node. That happened during the First War because Pluto pretty soon after the Declaration of Independence, they had the Independence War, and that's when Pluto was at the South Node. So we can refer to that historical transit and see what has happened at that time, right? Now I will show you the bi-wheel. Just a moment. So here it is, the bi-wheel chart. Um, and as you can see, they have the Jupiter return, and it happens three times because of the retrograde Jupiter in Cancer. So it even though not by degree, because Jupiter is is retrograding to 15th degree only. It goes over mainly Mercury. So it can be considered as a return, a three-time return of Jupiter by sign, even though it's not exactly on the 5 degree three times. But the fact that it's transiting three times over Mercury is very significant because, of course, at the first pass of Jupiter, we show the expansion of the power of the presidency, which is the executive power represented by the 10th house. And Mercury is the ruler of the 10th house. So now, going back, it's reviewing, revising, and then it will go back again the third time, and we need to observe what happens with the executive expansion of power. We will see what happens and who will be there. Anyways, and we can see the south node is on the 10th house, meaning there is a drain of energy for the presidency, and also a debilitation or weakening of the party in power. I need to remind you that there was an eclipse this year. Let me see. I can tell you the date. In On top of the eclipse was on top of this Neptune, and the eclipse happened March 14, 2025, and it was a full moon eclipse or lunar eclipse at 23 degrees 56 minutes of Virgo, exactly on top of Neptune. So we can see the deception, the disillusionment, or the lies and all of that. The moon illuminated or shed light on this Neptune, especially because there is also kind of a derangement of the situation in the presidency. Very significant. Now, other eclipses are okay. So other eclipses happened. In Pisces as well, with the North Node. So the North Node is actually focusing on the fourth house, which is the land, the homeland, as well as resources that are underground, and also by opposition to the executive power. And the party in power is the strengthening of the opposition, or the party opposing that. So the transits are Saturn and Neptune, which Saturn is bringing this dream, this illusion, to a cruel and raw reality. So there will be an eclipse. Let's see. There will be a lunar eclipse in August this year, at near 5 degrees of Pisces, which is a lunar eclipse that will shed light on Ceres. And Ceres represents the agriculture and the production, or the need for nurturance of the people in general. And we already have seen problems with agriculture because of lack of water. There is an extensive and intensive drought across the country that is affecting the agriculture. And there will probably shed light on the problems and the need to get more uh, production, more food. Anyways, but the main point that we're focusing now is this stellium in Aquarius. A stellium means that there is a concentration of energy, that it's like a spotlight on a certain issue, and related to the house where the stellium is, and the houses these planets occupy. In this case, the planets are on the third house. And as I said, it can represent the states that are forming the constitute of the country, but it also represents the neighboring countries, or yeah, the neighboring countries. Anyways, and we can see that most of them all of them are at this moment in the first decan of Aquarius, which is the strongest decan, and they are on the south node, practically. So the sun is exactly conjunct the south node, which means that the authority of the country is losing strength. And in this case, if we refer to health, for example, it's a problem with the nervous system and circulation, the blood circulation. So this president has health problems according to this astrology, and is related to the weakening south node of their those issues, the weakening of the health. And since this is in the third house, that is reflected on the communication that this president is giving out. So even though Pluto is there, remember that while Pluto is under the rays, the sun rays, is invisible. So meaning that the power is weaker, and is also weakened. The power is weakened by the south node. We will see Pluto approaching the 6th degree pretty soon this year. let me see, 2026, Pluto will be uh, Pluto will be at 5 degrees station retrograde in the month of first week in May. So meaning that it won't get completely to the 6 degree exactly this year, but very close. So next year it will touch the 6 degree, and that will be the power drain in this case. So all these planets in one station, in one location, as I said, signify the intensification of energy, and it's often a major transit, of course, especially when these planets will go through the moon. They will activate this moon. Not only does the moon represent the people in the country, it also rules the eighth house. So we will see and talk third house a lot about the secrets that the secret dealings, the financial issues, eighth house, the share resources with other people. There will be a lot of conversation, a lot of shedding light. The moon sheds light, uh, and this moon is a gibbous moon, but it is the natal moon is a gibbous moon that is closing the cycle. So it still has a lot of light, but is fading. So this moon is fading light, is going towards the sun, and is in the closing or waning cycle, part of the cycle. So all the planets will go through the moon, probably first Mercury, and then Venus, and then the sun, and then Mars. They all will touch the moon. So we need to observe and see what happens. But the stellium in the third house is affecting, intensifying communications, shedding light on what is being said. Also, of course, towards the states of the union, but also towards neighboring countries. What is being said, what is being done, Mars. Pretty soon, let me see when. Mars will join Pluto, and is the last one, making a conjunction with Pluto at 3 degrees 34 minutes, Tuesday the 27th. So in a couple of days only, Mars will be on Pluto. But remember, they both are in the south node. So it could be something that is not obvious, that is not, smoke and mirrors like the south node is, but it also represents a drain of power, a drain of, the actions that are taken at this point by power, by aggression, by impulsivity, with all might, might makes right. It will backfire, because it is the south node, and we can't ignore the nodes of the moon. They are, my point of view is the first thing I analyze in any chart with my clients is the nodal axis, because is uh, the fated destiny that the person or the entity is carrying within itself is if you want the objective or the mission they designed themselves to achieve in this country, in this life, I mean, with this chart, and where also where they come from, what is it that they that is in their past, because also the South Node represents the past. So I mixed meanings of evolutionary astrology in the analysis of the nodal axis. I mixed Vedic interpretations as well and modern astrology interpretation, because I think all the interpretations can together, mixed together, they can give us a broader picture of what the nodal axis represents, and it's full of meaning, and especially analyzing the rulers, right? The north node of this nodal axis is the sun. The ruler of the north node in Leo is the sun, and the sun is in the eighth house. So meaning that any um, international, right? Because the North Node is the ninth house. Any international affairs are ruled by this maximum authority, but in a way that is not transparent. It is eighth house. It is secret dealings and is uh, basically grabbing resources that by the power of the scorpion, right? The biting of the scorpion, because it's the eighth house and it has this scorpionic energy. Okay, so we need to observe what is going on in everything that has to do with communications, short distance travel, relationships with neighboring countries, relations, interstate relations with the federal government, and other things, right? We have Mars is the ruler of the 12th house, and as well as the fifth house. So fifth house also is associated with diplomacy, with the happiness of the country. The fifth house is associated with the for example, ammunition of a city in war. Um, Places of entertainment, places of enjoyment, as well as mixed house for a country with different issues. But since the fifth house and the 12th house are ruled by the same ruler, Mars, there they have a connection. Some two houses ruled by the same ruler have a connection. So any diplomacy, for example, or diplomats will have secret 12th house kind and scorpionic kind of relationships with other countries. And in this case, in the third house, the actions relate to neighboring countries. So you see how the themes tie together. And as I said, in a couple of days, they will join, Mars and Pluto will join, and we will see. We need to observe and see what happens, and also the media. And the third house represents journalism, media. There could be powerful news regarding the themes of the third house, right? Also dealings. The third house also represents commercial dealings. And so we will see how this plays out. And I can make another, when I make the video for the full moon in Leo. Leo is the ninth house, right? There will be bright light on the foreign affairs. Um, what else I wanted to say? Mercury is there. So Mercury with Venus, I mean, there is a separation already. Where do they join? They are joining forces on Thursday, the 29th of January. Mercury and Venus will be conjoined. So there will be sweet talks at 14 degrees 57 minutes mid sign, and the 15th degree of the fixed signs are the pillars of the world. So it will be very, very important talks for peace on Thursday, the 29th, that will affect the whole world. Third house, as I said, are communications, commercial deals. So it's all related to interstate relations as well as neighboring countries. And I think that I exhausted all the subjects. The conjunction of Saturn and Neptune upcoming on the 20th of February will be following an eclipse. As I said, the eclipse of February 17, 28 degrees. That will be on the moon. First, we will have the eclipse on the moon. And so that's the chance for the people, the moon, to show up, right? It is a solar eclipse, so something new starts for the people. But as well, something new is going to be discovered because the moon rules the eighth house. So something new is showing on the themes of the eighth house, which are shared resources, the debt, the foreign debt. Something new will develop regarding secret dealings as well, and financial survival, share resources with partners, and such. So alert for that eclipse. And then that was the 17th of February. On the 20th, then Saturn and Neptune will meet right on top of the IC, and the IC is the fifth house. So we need to observe and take notes. And regarding the media, I need to let you know to be very careful, and especially not to use the mass media and traditional sources of information. And in that regard, you need to pay close attention to what kind of information you look for. So there are many independent sources that are very serious. I will not recommend what I do look for. You need to develop your own critical thinking and find out who is telling you the truth and who is not. And you need to wake up and understand. I think this stellium and the third house for the country will demand that the people look for the truth in the media, in the internet, Aquarius, in any news that they are listening, watching, reading. So be careful and use your critical thinking. This is the main, most important thing, that you need to be discerning. You need to use your reasoning and discern what is going on exactly. So be clear, be try to fight this Neptune and Pisces right now, right? It will be clearer when both Saturn and Neptune move to Aries, because it is the sign of the head. So things will become clearer then. Especially when the sun sheds its light on the moon, and that will be pretty soon as well. Let me see, and I want to finish this video. So the sun will be on the moon of the United States on the 15th of February. So right before the eclipse, the sun will illuminate this moon, will shed light on, as I said, the eighth house of the United States. So finish here. Thank you for watching, and please think critically. Use discernment. Okay, so see you next time.